text appears. Right now, incarcerated people are being deprived of letters, cards, and photos sent by their friends and loved ones. Prison officials claim that allowing mail is a security risk, and specifically as an entry point for drugs. In fact, denying people their mail doesn't make prisons any safer, but it does have devastating consequences to the mental health of people in custody. We spoke with 4 formerly incarcerated people about the importance of prison mail. Martin, a Chicano male and a formerly incarcerated person, sits in his apartment.
Nobody ever thinks about really that how much the prison actually produces trauma, right? There's violence, there's assault, sexual assault, there's suicide, there's so many things that we happen to see as incarcerated individuals, that there's 3 things that really unify us to the outside world. And those 3 things are visits, phone calls, and mail, right? And a lot of times visits are really hard because distance, right? So you can't visit with your family as much as you'd like to. Phone calls, we know that it's very expensive. I talk to my daughter twice a month, and that's $35 right there. Just those 2 phone calls for about 15 minutes each call. And the one thing we look forward to on a probably 2-3 times a week is our mail.
Joe, a white male and a formerly incarcerated person, sits in an office.
For me and many inmates like me who don't have family members that can afford $500 phone calls every day, it is the only it's the only connection to outside. And that's really kind of important.
Johanna, a mixed-race Native American woman and a formerly incarcerated person, sits in her apartment.
To be able to go to your room and to pick up a piece of mail with your address, your mother's address, your children's address, on that piece of mail with the envelope, it reminds you and takes you back to the place where you want to be.
Troy, a black male with short black hair and a formerly incarcerated person, sits in his apartment.
I love the fact that I was able to correspond with people that care. And sometimes when you're in prison, you're alone. You're very alone.
I remember multiple times, for a long time really, for 3 years at a time, watching my daughter grow up in pictures that I got through the mail, be able to hold that picture, put that picture on my locker, be able to hold it, look at it. I remember I was blessed that my mom was able to be alive when I came home from prison. And the thing about my mom is she always wore this distinct perfume when she was alive. And there was a hint of that smell on the letter. It was like something that just kept me grounded while in prison.
During the time period that my mother was able to write to me, I kept those letters inside of my pillowcase. I slept with that mail. Many of us keep letters and photographs inside of our pillowcases. It's the closest thing to us. We know that that's a comfort through the night.
It's like a daily thing that you stand at the door waiting for the mailman to go by. It really sucks when he passes you. But you gotta kind of stay in touch with what's going on outside. And without mail, you don't, period. You watch TV commercials and you're so disconnected from reality that without a personal touch through the mail, you become a number.
You can put those letters on the wall. You can tape them to the wall and you can see the good messages from family or friends.
One program that prison officials use to deny incarcerated people their mail is called MailGuard, which is run by the private company Smart Communications. Under MailGuard, incarcerated people can only get mail on a kiosk, screen, or as a crude printout. The originals are destroyed.
An electronic mail, to think that somebody goes in, that to me those are like sacred items. If somebody goes in scans your picture and then all of a sudden destroys it and or gets rid of it in a way where it wasn't touched by my family and then given to me, right? There's a disconnect right there.
I think what's lost is a personal connection.
When you receive mail, you know that the person who has written you has touched that mail. And there's a bond there with that piece of mail that you can't get on a video screen or from a carbon copy. And for most of us, when a letter comes from home, that's home. And there isn't anything that can replace it. Nothing.
Out of the 2.3 million people locked up in America, 90 to 95% of them are going to come home someday. And they need something to unify them to their community. And when I get these letters, that's me. That's me. That's all the people that are nationwide doing that work to try to keep our brothers and sisters inside connected to the outside world.
You can help ensure that incarcerated people get their mail. To take action, visit www.justdetention.org/protect-prison-mail. #ProtectPrisonMail. The Just Detention International logo is displayed on the screen.